Hey guys, it's your boy, this study guy, and I'm back with another video. So this is part 2 of what if the white fang had competition. And if you didn't watch part 1, make sure to check it out. It should be up already. So make sure to check that out before you start watching this, because it wouldn't really make any other sense otherwise. Oh, this video wouldn't make any sense. But anyways, so you guys probably gonna see me stumble and stutter a lot, so I apologize ahead of time. But I'm not gonna let something like that stop me from doing what I love, which is making content. So besides that, though, let's get into the story. Okay, so last time we left off with Julie essentially being left for dead, right? Okay, so now I'm going to fast forward a few years, right? So fast forward, and now we're at Atlas, and underground, hidden underground is a prison, right? Now this prison, is filled with powerful individuals, right? People who wouldn't, people that Atlas deemed to be too dangerous to be let out of to be anywhere near society, basically, right? So yeah, and in this prison, in cell 114, is none other than Cinder, right? Because yeah, she's in the story. I'm gonna do something with her. You'll see. So in cell 114 is Cinder, right? And she's currently strung up off the ground with with she's she got a couple of she's tied up off the ground. She covered in some things. Okay, let me try again. So she's strung up off the ground. She has an anti semblance collar around her neck. Right? Now, despite being called an anti-semblance collar, it actually doesn't take away a person's semblance. It just severely weakens it. So much so that to the point where if a person were to use the semblance, it would be essentially useless. Right? So, yeah, in this universe, you can't take away the semblance. So, but yeah. Anyways, while Cinder is currently staring blankly at the floor, right? And she's thinking to herself about how she's going to escape. And once he escapes, oops, hold on, there we go. And once he escapes, she's also thinking about how once he escapes, how she's gonna get more power. I can't believe it took me 4 seconds just to say that. Excuse me. Anyways, yeah. So it's kind of like Hannah Cinder, but I'm gonna change that in a minute. So y'all see, because I don't really like Hannah Cinder. I don't really like her. But anyways, yeah, she's currently not doing so well. She hasn't eaten anything in a while because the guards refuse to feed her. Well, they only feed the inmate. The guards only feed the inmates only like 3 times a week, so it severely weakens them to the point where when they do try to escape, it'll almost be practically impossible. Well, at least in the state they're in, right? So right now, Cinder is severely weakened and stuff like that. So she can't even escape on her own even if she wanted to. Right? That's how bad it is right now. But anyways, so as Cinder is thinking this, suddenly her entire cell turns green. Right? It literally turns the color green. Seeing this, Cinder was no doubt confused, right? So she's looking around, and in the corner of her cell, there's a leak, right? And Cinder spots a drop of water frozen in midair, not moving at all, just frozen. It's literally just frozen in time, basically, right? So Cinder was like, "What? What's going on? This can't be happening. I never heard of something like this occurring before. It must be a semblance." Right? And as she's saying this, suddenly a portal opens up in front of her. And from that portal, 3 figures walk out. Right? And each figure had their faces covered with, each figure wore black hoods, and they had their face covered, so you couldn't see their face with the hoods. They had their face covered with the hoods, so you can't really see their face. Oh my fucking god! What I'm saying is that they essentially had their face covered with the hoods they are wearing. So Cinder couldn't see their face at all. Couldn't see their faces. But anyway, seeing this, no. Anyways, I'm not gonna do that. At this point, yeah, I'm gonna go with that. At this point, Cinder knew something was up, right? She's not stupid. She knew that in order for this something to happen, they must have wanted something. They must have wanted something of hers, or wanted to use her in some way, something like that. She knew that for sure, right? And take care of that. There we go. And one of the figures that's taller than the rest steps forward, right? And he starts to speak. And he was like, "Cinder." No wait. He was like, "Cinder ever fall? My. It's a pleasure to finally meet you. I heard from a few that you're quite a vicious one." And Cinder, after hearing this, Cinder snorted. And she was like, "Just cut to the chase already. What do you want with me?" Right? And the figure laughed. And he was like, My. Straight to the point, are we? Good. It makes things so much easier. As soon as the figure said that, he lowered his hood. And it was revealed to be none other than Abner, a much older version. Ta-da! The big reveal! Most of y'all probably already knew that already. So it's not really a reveal, but, you know. But anyways. Now, this is a much older version of Abner, because I never really said his age during my first what if video. So I never really said his age on the last video, I mean. So in the last video he was about, I'm gonna say 18. And now he is about 20 or 22. No, 20 or 21. Okay. So, and he also has like a couple of scars on his face from the fight between him and his sister and the fondest guys. So he has a couple of scars on his face. Like he got like a scar running. He got like a long scar running down his eye. He got like a cut on his cheek. You know, uh, and stuff like that. He got like a few cuts on his face. Essentially, yeah, he got a few cuts on his face. But he overall, my man looks sexy. Sexy. My man looks sexy as. Oh my god. My man's look sexy as fuck. Pause. But anyways, I hate stuttering, bro. But anyways, yeah. So despite him having a few scars here and there, Abner grew up to be quite attractive. Pause. And because of this, when Cinder saw him, she blushed. Only a little bit. Right? Only a little bit. Just a little bit, guys, alright? Hear me out. I'm letting y'all know now that I don't do romance, right? Well, there's not gonna be romance in this. So yeah, there's no romance in this what if. So if y'all came here for sips, yeah, not today. Yeah, it's not gonna work out like that. I'm sorry. But anyways. So yeah, Cinder blushed slightly. And seeing this, Abner smirked. And he was like, "Oh, don't worry, Cinder. I have quite the effect on people." And Cinder growled. And she was like, "What do you want?" And Abner was like, "That's easy. I want you to work with us." And Cinder, she raised an eyebrow. You know? I mean, cause she living so good right now, so she's currently locked up. So normally she would turn stuff like this down, but in the situation season, she's kind of desperate at this point. You know, she wants to leave, she wants to escape, but she knows that in doing so will be extremely difficult, if not impossible. So she's not really looking forward to actually attempting such a thing. But yeah, so in response, Cinder said, "Work for you? Ha! You mean tell me your name, first of all." You know, she laughed. And Abner nodded. It was like, "Yeah, you right. So let me introduce myself." So, you know, being the gentleman that he is. Now wait. No, I ain't gonna do that. So, Abner bowed slightly. Wait, wow, I don't wanna. Okay. So after he said this, Abner opens his arms wide as if like to gesture to himself. Well, yeah, that's essentially what he was doing. He was basically gesturing to himself. But yeah, Abner opened his arms and he was like, "My name is Abner Crestfallen, and you, my lady, are Cinder Never Fall. And you're the type of person that I need in my line of work. And Cinder was like, you're gonna have to give me more than that if you want me to work with you, of all people. And I'm there. He puts his hand on his heart. And he had like a mocker expression. He was like, ouch. Kitty has claws. Alright. As I said, my name is Amnir Crestfallen. And I'm currently leading a group that will be the future. No, wait. I'm currently leading a group that will replace the white fang in the future. Oh, really now? Yes, indeed. Wow. I would say, indeed. And you, Cinder, I heard that you have the skills I'm looking for. A good fighter, smart, and devilishly so. That's the type of person I need under my command. Right? And Cinder, she snorted again, right? She shook her head. Because, Cinder, she doesn't work with, she wouldn't allow herself to just work with anyone. No matter who they are. At least, not without something that benefits herself as well. So, she was like, and what's in it for me if I do shoot, if I, let's say, no, hold on. Okay. Let's say if I said yes, and I agreed to work with you, what's in it for me? And Abner, he was like, oh, that's easy, Cinder. The one thing you desire the most. The one thing you can't seem to live without. Power. And Cinder's eyes widen. Her eyes probably sparkle at the mention of power, right? Because that's Cinder in a nutshell. And she was like, "Power, you say? Maybe I was wrong about you. With an offer just like that, how can a lady say no? Right? Now, sorry guys, as you can see, this is kind of hard for me because I didn't really plan this like far ahead, so I'm just making stuff as I go along. So it might not. You guys might not actually like what's going on, but bear with me here. So hold on, let me think for a second. Okay, so I see the problem I made because like Cinder doesn't know about Abner at all, so it wouldn't. So it wouldn't make any sense for her to say that I was wrong about you. She never knew Abner. So scrap that, and I'm just gonna instead of her saying that, she's gonna say this instead. She's gonna say, "Power, you say? Ooh, tell me more." Right? So Abner nodded, and he looked over his shoulder at one of the hooded figures, at one of the figures that still had the hoods up, and he nodded. Right? And the hooded figure nodded as well.
And the figure, that's a lot of ads. There we go. And the figure lowered the hood, and it is none other than Nero herself. I was gonna say her last name, but I don't think I can pronounce it. But yeah, it's Nero. It's Nero basically. And Nero rolls her hood, right, and she grabs her signature weapon, right, and she uses it to free Cinder's arms. But in doing so, Cinder falls to the ground. It wasn't really. She didn't really fall high, but it kind of. But she definitely didn't land on her feet because she's weak at this point, so she didn't exactly land on her feet. So she more so landed on her knees, but she quickly got up because he didn't want because Cinder doesn't want to appear weak. So she quickly got up and brushed herself off as quickly as she could. But anyways, Abner continued. He was like, "Yes, Cinder, yes, Cinder, for power. If you join me, I can promise you. I can promise you that. I can promise you that as long as you follow my orders, the power that you will no doubt receive will definitely make you almost unstoppable." And Cinder grinned, and she was like, "Oh, I see, I see. Well, it does sound like a tempting offer indeed. But before I can agree to work with you, we must also hold on, guys. Let me think. What do I want to do? What do I want to do? Okay, so scrap what this said, right? So Cinder said, my, something like that seems too good to be true, right? Because he's a little bit suspicious. Because no one no one can promise power. Not anyone can just promise power and give said power just to said individual, right? So Cinder was a little bit skeptical, basically. She was skeptical, and I'm there. He smiled, right, and he said, he said, "Oh, Cinder, the first thing you need to know about me is that I don't lie. So I don't tell the whole truth either, but I am not a liar. When I say something like I can get you power, then I mean it. As a matter of fact, I can do so right now." And Cinder's eyes widened somewhat, and she was like, because she's kind of caught off guard. She wasn't expecting something like that. So her eyes widened, and she said, "Oh, really? Oh, really? Well, why not demonstrate?" She said that a little bit like she said that a little like too eagerly. Like she was eager. She was skeptical, but she was eager. Right? So Abner chuckled, and he was like, "All right then." And he sticks out his hand towards Cinder. "Grab my hand, and I will show you the power grab my hand, and I'll grant you power beyond your wildest dreams. Right? That's what he said. Cinder, keeping an eye on him, and the other two people in the room really reached out toward his arm and grabbed it. Now, as soon as he grabbed his arm, she screamed. Right? Not a second. Not a second. Not a second passed after she grabs his arm. She screamed. Right? And she tears her grip away from his, and she collapses to the ground. And she's basically like writhing in pain, crushing her head. Right? And now she's like basically rolling around, screaming her head off. You know, crushing her head. You know. And at this point, Abner began to whistle to himself, absent-mindedly, while watching. Nero, on the other hand, got her score out and started texting someone, right? And the other figure is actually the other figure is the one who is actually the other figure is the one who caused the color in Cinder's cell. So basically, the figure's name is I gotta give her a name so I can remember. I gotta get like an easy name to remember. Her name is Timeset. Her name's Timeset. You know what? Cause screw it, guy. Her name's Timeset, and her name is essentially reveals her semblance. Cause as her name suggests, her Timeset semblance is time based, right? However, Timeset cannot actually control. Timeset can only freeze time in a small area, right? And when she does freeze time, hold on, that won't make any sense. Hold on. Okay. So, like her name suggests, her name is Timeset. However, while she can freeze time momentarily, it does not mean she froze time itself. Like outside of the of Cinder's cell. Well, no, outside of the prison, everything is normal, right? But inside, everything is frozen. That's how our semblance works. So you can only freeze time in a particular area. However, so you can only use said ability once, right? And every time she uses it, it completely drains her aura. So she's left both powerless and defenseless, right? It drains her aura and all her energy, so she's left powerless and defenseless, right? That's the weakness to her semblance, which is why she does not use it often at all. The only time she uses her semblance is under extreme circumstances. But yeah, that's how that works. So meanwhile, we're gonna come back to Cinder. So like I was saying before, Cinder screaming in pain, right? But after like a minute or so, she stops, right? And she take large breaths of air, right? Because she screamed so much, it left her breathless at one point, right? She's taking large gulps of air, right? And as she does so, she looks around confusing, right? And as soon as she spots Abner, her eyes light up, and she quickly got to her feet. And Abner, in turn, smiled warmly. And he was like, "Hello, Cinder. How are you feeling?" And Cinder opened her mouth to respond, only to cough a few seconds. Only to cough immediately after. No, she opened her mouth to respond, but quickly broke into a coughing fit, right? So, but after a few seconds, she got her coughing under control. So after a few seconds, when she got her coughing under control, she spoke, right? And she said, "I am fine, Father. I didn't know you would come. You would come. I was hoping. Hold up. Yeah, I am fine, Father." And Abner nodded. Good. And then suddenly he slaps her on the back of the head. And in response, Cinder winced. And he was like, "Now maybe next time you'll be careful when I send you off on a mission. Ugh, you're just like your sister sometimes." And in response, Cinder lowered her head and saying, "I apologize, Father. It won't happen again." Good. As soon with that done, Abner turns his head towards Nero, and Nero, catching his gaze, nodded happily, showing him her scroll. Upon seeing what Nero was doing, Abner grinned. Well, it seems like everything has fallen into place.